Okay, you can see here the entirety of the Eskay project defined by these bright colors. This is the SkyTEM data that we have across the property. Now, I'm going to zoom here and show people where we're at. The Eskay Creek mine actually sits right about here. That's Skeena now, but that's a high-grade deposit that Barrick mine produced about 3.5 million ounces of gold at 46 grams per ton gold. Also had very high silver, over 2 kilograms per ton silver in a very high grade VMS. So it's right there. Now you can see that area forms a belt that comes down onto our ground at Eskay. Okay, this area with all these little colors I'll show you here in a minute. Those are drill intercepts, historic drill intercepts from drilling that was done on the Eskay mining ground adjacent to the Eskay Creek mine. Then we have over here another purple belt like this that shows up very prominently. And TV and Jeff happen to sit right about in here. I'm going to talk about those in a minute. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn the SkyTEM down a wee bit here, and so we can see through the surface. All right, so it's a little bit transparent now. Now, I'll zoom back out. The SkyTEM data is basically showing us areas in bright reds and pinks and purples that are conductive. And then we have other areas that are very resistant. The rock is electrically resistant in blues and stuff. What does this mean? Well, it's along the boundaries of the bright pinks and purples that you usually find these VMS deposits. Why? Because that basically marks the position of the old sea floor, the sea floor in which these deposits form. Okay, so you'll find that many times the VMS mineralization kind of hugs or follows these trends. Like in through here, it's following this trend. Over here, it's following this trend. Even down here in the south part of the property, like these drill holes are kind of proximal to this trend here. We have a lot of exploration to do. There's a lot of open ground, a lot of strike. To give you a sense of scale, look over here in the lower right. You can see the scale bar. Right now, that's 15 kilometers. From way up here down to way down here, we've got about 30 kilometers of strike along this banana-shaped belt. All right, that's a lot of ground. Now, has it all been explored? Heck, no. Okay, give you a sense. This right here, that little cluster and that little cluster, that's Jeff, that's TV. There's a couple of scatter holes around them, but that's the entirety of the drilling that's been done along the east side of this anticline, this purple belt right here. You think there might be more? Yeah, I think there could be. Now I'm going to show you in detail here in a second what the plan is. In fact, I'll turn this around and tip it up so you can get a sense of what we're dealing with. Okay, so now we're inside the ground. We're looking upward. And if I kind of center this and zoom in, you can see the drilling that was done here at TV and Jeff has definitely outlined some pretty robust blobs of mineralization, but there's nothing between them. Okay, so from here to here, is there any drilling in this area? No, there's not. Okay, here's TV. All right, so again, very robust blob of mineralization. By the way, if you look down here in the lower right, just watch the scale bar and you can see what the scale is. If you want to freeze your frame on YouTube and study it in more detail. Okay, but there is nothing cutting these things off. Okay, so now, so I don't bore everybody to tears here. What do we have here? Well, we have a big belt. You can see it kind of wraps up and around. It comes down here like this. We have this belt through here that comes down like this. We have a lot of exploration to do along the east. This would be the east side of the Eskay anticline here and the west side of the Eskay anticline through here. But we also have this new area up here at Scarlet Ridge, believe it or not. So these are historic holes we found. They're south of the Scarlet Ridge target that's actually up here. But we found some historic holes that, guess what, have some gold. In fact, there's some high grades in there. So we're very optimistic that up in this area and along this belt, we'll find more discoveries. We are also very, very optimistic that in TV Jeff area, in this area in particular, where there's a lot of little pimples and blips and blobs and stuff, there's probably a lot more sulfide to discover. And then this is that C10 area in the south where we've got some high grades. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in and show you briefly what we've got going this year. Okay, we're going to look at TV Jeff. So this is a zoom in model of the TV Jeff area. If I tip, we're looking east now. If I tip this up, you can see the drilling that's been done. There's TV, there's Jeff. I'm going to turn the colors off because they kind of drive everybody nuts here. Where's the colors? Oh, there it is. turn the yellow off. Okay, so you can see the drill intercepts. See this cloud of results through here, and see this cloud of results over here. Okay, that's all. That's the entirety of the TVGF drilling this year. But notice all these blue holes. Okay, all these blue lines are holes that we have planned this year. What's our attempt going to be? We're going to try to systematically drill this 5 kilometer long corridor that goes through here, all the way from Jeff to TV, and we're going to try to find the extensions and hopefully additional deposits that we know are present in that region. Why do we know this? Because we did soil sampling and stuff that shows very robust soil anomalism along the margin of this this purple zone. Okay, this purple zone again is basically the Paleo sea floor. So we're poking holes all along this thing, many holes, to try to find additions to these. Now you think we might be? I think we will. I think this program is well thought out. We've got many fences of holes here. We're going to hit this thing hard. Why? Because we think we have a system here that justifies it. We think we could come up with something, say, comparable to the Eskay Creek deposit. We look at it that way. You can see most of the holes are oriented back to the west here. They're what we call fences of holes. So you drill a series of holes in the line, and they overlap. So you make sure you don't miss anything. It's a way to think of it like casting a net. We're going to see if we can't catch a few more fish in that zone. Now we've got a few holes over here on this side too. This is a place called Excelsior. We've found good soil anomalism in this area. This is this is the east side of the anticline. This is the west side. We think there's the continuation of the system jumps over here and can be found on the west side of the anticline. We'll try to make discovery there as well. Lots of drilling this year. If we start to hit on this in a big way, these two zones that appear to be small right now will quickly grow, and we should have, hopefully by the end of this year, we'll have a system that's demonstrably much larger. Now I'm going to go to Sibilulu briefly. This is the project that is south of the Eskay Creek mine. A lot of people ask us why we haven't done much there. The reason is because this season they're going to put a road in place. Okay, so Seabridge is building the road. It basically comes right down here, and we're waiting for that road to be built before we drill here, because we can save a heap of money once this thing is road accessible. All right, so a little patience, but we'll get there. All right, now the historic drilling has already snagged several high-grade plumbs. You can see clusters of some very high-grade results here and there, all the way up to the Eskay Creek property boundary up here. But there's still lots more to be done. Okay, this thing is not drilled off in any way, shape, or form. I'm going to turn that off. Let me see which layer, that guy. And I'm going to zoom in. This is a little deposit called LULU, and you can see some of the results here. Let me click on these. You can read the numbers here. Look at this. 24 meters of 17 grams per ton gold. Here we got 20 meters of 26 grams. Here we got 11 meters of 15 grams. There's some really robust results in here. Here we go. 13 meters of 12 grams. Here we got 14 meters of 11 grams. This place has not seen any significant drilling for a long time, like years. Okay, now a lot of people say, "Oh, it looks like it's drilled off there." No. You got to be very patient. But if you look with exploration for these deposits, because they can be very squirrely, but you can see right here, there's no drilling outboard from this. Okay, none, zero. Okay, so this system is still open in every respect. They tried drilling it off this way, and they hit some low grade this way, but in this direction in particular, thing is wide open. There's no drill holes. If I turn this around, you can see right away there's no drilling that cuts it off. So do I think there's still more potential? Heck yes. Okay, there's a lot of pops and whistles around this thing too that suggests there's more going on. Plus up here in the north, look at this. There's a very big cloud of gold here. There's no drilling in this area. Okay, look at look at this. Is there room to form a high grade deposit? Yes, absolutely. Is there room here? We got some one-off hits here. Get some one-off hits here. All of this needs to be followed up on, even the high grade there. All right, so there's lots of work to do here. We'll drill that once that road is in place, but it gives you a sense. We got lots and lots of work to do on the property. Scarlet Ridge, C10, the whole lot. We got heaps of exploration to do, and the crew is now on their way up to site. We should start work imminently.